Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Dark Force Books. Starting off the month of July, I read The Unmaking of June Farrow. This was a recommendation by my best friend, and I'm so happy I finally got around to reading it. Taking a few steps back, The Unmaking of June Farrow, beyond it being a recommendation from my friend, I was also really drawn into it by the summary. June Farrow has a curse. It is a family curse. All the women in her family have experienced it, and June is slowly being done in by the curse. She's seeing and hearing things that aren't there. When she was younger, her mother went missing, and all of this to say, June wants to understand, where her mother went. How can I break the curse? All of these questions before the curse does her in, and you're kind of at a point of no return. So I will go into it more in the wrap up, but it's a really interesting story. There is a fantastical, magical element to it. There is some romance, and it's a really sweet story. This book was a fun one, and I'm excited to tell you guys about it at the end of the month. The next book on my July TBR is One Dark Window by Rachel Gellig. I initially found this book when I finished Night in the Moth, which I loved. I read that book a few months ago, and I was seeing what other work she had, and this Shepherd King duology came up, One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns. So quick rundown of what this book is even about, why I was drawn to it. We follow Elspeth, who has a monster inside of her head. She has to keep it a secret. The monster protects her, but nothing comes for free. When I first read the summary for One Dark Window, I was like, not really for me. I don't know what I was thinking. I know it's only been 2 books, but I really love her writing. I really love her characters, and I feel like they kind of had similar themes, both Night in the Moth and One Dark Window. Again, like me and Gothic are like this. Anything Gothic kind of magic. She just does fantasy and magic kind of in a way that I really enjoy. I'll save all of my thoughts for the wrap up to review it properly, go over it then. But this was another book I intended to have this be in a TBR. Once I started, I just flew through this book. Really enjoyed it. Will hold my thoughts for the end of the month. After One Dark Window, I continued with the Sun Eater series. This is a sci-fi series my boyfriend recommended to me. He found this one on Instagram. Asked me to read it, and I'm so happy that I did. This Sun Eater series goes across 8 books, if I'm not mistaken. So I forget the name of the first book, but I'm on Howling Dark right now, which is book 2. You follow a character named Hadrian. He comes from this royal bloodline, royal family, and the path his father wants him to take is not the one that he wants. And so he goes about making his own way. I am super simplifying what's going on. There are so many moving parts to this story. From book 1 to 2, you're following Hadrian, his story, kind of seeing him grow up, his mindset change, and it's a fun element of Hadrian making his own way, finding himself, and then his mindset growing at the same time. This whole series is how Hadrian became known as the Sun Eater. And to have followed one character through all these things, it's like a really long journal for someone, and I'm invested. I think that's just, I say that because it's hard to do, especially with this series. I feel like, in my experience, it's like a couple books you love, and then somehow at the end, some really weird things happen, and it can kind of lose you sometimes. That being said, these books are like 700 pages a piece. I know I'm doing this one on audio, but still 28 hours of listening time. There a lot to get through, a lot is happening. Just for it to be able to hold your attention, audio or reading material, I think the fact that it holds your attention is telling. And also the writing is great. I have so many notes in my phone of just like quotes that have been said throughout the book. Maybe in the wrap up, I'll read some to you, but I'm still working through that one. I think I'm like a quarter of the way through. It is a chunk of a book. I hope I can get through that one before the month's end so we can talk about it, but if not, I'll have it roll over into August. One of those things of like, I'm okay for books to roll over because I want to enjoy them and not feel like I need to get them done just to meet the end of the month deadline. But I hope I can get through it so we can talk about it. So after Howling Dark, I have 3 more books that I would like to get through before month's end, which I feel like is really ambitious. Next up on the list, I want to read Two Twisted Crowns, which is the second book following One Dark Window. I am devoted to knowing what happens to Elspeth, Raven, their families, and kind of a side note, I love the connotation to trees. Everyone has a surname of a tree, so it's Elspeth Spindle. Another character is Raven Yu. But everyone's like tree is relevant to them, if that makes sense. There's a good resemblance, I think is a better way to say that. But I thought it was cool. Just like how nature was incorporated. I like that a lot. The second to last book on my July TBR is called Her Last Breath. This was actually a book I found on Instagram. It was someone's post talking about their top thrillers or books that they had enjoyed. If I can find her account, I'll put her somewhere on the screen. First of all, I'll say this post burned me, but then also gave me a book I was really excited about. But Her Last Breath is about two friends named Tess and Allie, and they agree to go cave diving, which, why would you? Good for them, I guess. The girls realize they're not alone in the cave and someone attacks them. That just sounds like horrific to me when I read the Instagram quick description. Like, she's in a cave, she's getting chased, and someone attacks her and following her in the cave. It just sounds horrific to me, so claustrophobic, and I'm excited to read that one. I hope I can get to it this month. Last but not least, the book I would like to end July with is called Tomorrow, Tomorrow, and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. This was a book I initially saw in my bookstore, and I recently have seen it making its rounds on Book YouTube and things like that. Covers will forever be the reason I buy the book, or at least want to read about it and see what it has in store. But I really love the cover. This story is about two friends named Sam and Sadie, and essentially follows them in their friendship together. I will say, I'm hoping the romance isn't between Sam and Sadie. For me, I think the trope is overdone that the lifelong friends secretly love each other. It's a story where they are genuinely platonic friends and they just want to see each other succeed. It's more of a personal qualm of mine, but as a woman, it's hard to find those friendships in men. It would be nice to be seen as a person who just wants to be friends, not as someone to be pursued. Putting that to the side, I have heard really wonderful things about this book, and I think it's going to be a really sweet story. Even if Sam and Sadie do love each other, I'm sure by the end of it, I'll be happy for them. But I think it's sweet, and I like the idea of just kind of following these friends throughout their life and see what comes their way in any of the hardships and successes that they face together. And I just hope it's kind of a fun book about friendship, found family, making a family amongst your friends or out of your friends, things like that. But I'm really excited to get into this one. That does it for me. That was my TBR for July. I'm hoping I can wrap up the last 3 books, get through Howling Dark, and report back to you guys at the end of the month with some good news. To give you a little sneak peek about my wrap up, I had 2 DNFs this month I'm excited to talk to you guys about. One is the one that burned me, I mentioned earlier, and the other was one that a lot of people really loved and I just didn't jive with it, and I'm so sad that I didn't. But I'm excited to talk to you guys about it, get your thoughts, and if it worked for you, if it didn't, and just pick your brain a little bit. In the coming months, I want to tailor my TBR around fall and winter-esque books. So if you have any book recommendations that are autumnal or winter kind of vibes, leave the book names down below. I would love to get your recommendations and add them to my TBR. If you don't have any book recommendations, comment down below a flower for summer. So that does it for me. Thank y'all for watching my July TBR, and I will catch you back at the end of the month for my wrap up.